Ladies and gentlemen, every morning the world doesn't wait for anyone. The sun rises, the clock ticks, and life moves forward, whether we are ready or not. The question is, what will you do with today? Will you stay in the comfort of your bed, letting opportunities pass by, or will you rise, step into action, and own your life? Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who wake up, grind, and repeat. When we talk about success, too often people imagine it as a sudden event, a stroke of luck, or a one-time breakthrough. They picture a moment where everything falls perfectly into place, where opportunity knocks and they happen to be in the right room at the right time. But the truth, the undeniable truth, is that success is never random, and it is never instant. Success is built brick by brick, moment by moment, through the simple yet powerful act of showing up every single day. It is the quiet commitment to rise each morning, to take deliberate action, and to repeat that process relentlessly that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who only imagine them. Consistency is the heartbeat of achievement. Imagine a world-class athlete. Imagine a champion who stands on the podium, holding a medal. That medal is not a symbol of a single day of effort. It is the culmination of thousands of mornings when they woke up before sunrise, when their body screamed for rest, when motivation seemed absent, yet they chose to push forward anyway. They ran even when their legs burned, lifted even when their arms ached, practiced even when they wanted to quit. That is the power of consistent effort. That is what it means to wake up, take action, and repeat. Success is a habit, not an event. It is the rhythm of commitment, the daily investment in yourself, your skills, and your dreams. Many people fail to understand this simple truth because they are seduced by the idea of overnight success. They see the headlines of young entrepreneurs or celebrities who made it fast, and they convince themselves that if they don't achieve greatness immediately, they are failing. But let me tell you something important. Every story of instant success is backed by years of unseen effort. Behind every viral moment, there are thousands of mornings spent working when no one was watching, countless hours spent learning, failing, adjusting, and repeating. The grind is silent, invisible, and repetitive, but it is the foundation on which all achievement rests. To wake up, take action, and repeat is not simply a phrase, it is a mindset. It is the understanding that each day is an opportunity to move forward, however small the step may seem. Some days the progress is enormous, and the results are clear. Other days, the progress is invisible, almost imperceptible, and yet it is just as vital. It is during those difficult, frustrating days when we see the true power of consistency. When we commit to action even when we don't feel like it, when we put in the work despite doubt, when we choose discipline over comfort, we are strengthening not only our skills, but our character. Each repetition builds resilience, patience, and focus. Each day we wake up and take action. We are investing in a version of ourselves that is capable of achieving far more than we imagined today. Think about the routine itself, the daily discipline of waking up early, facing the tasks that need attention, taking action, and continuing despite obstacles. This repetition is where the magic happens. It is not the occasional burst of energy or last-minute effort that creates success. It is the habitual, consistent actions repeated day after day, week after week, year after year. It is in these repeated actions that mastery is formed, that momentum grows, and that confidence builds. Every time you commit to action, no matter how small, you are planting a seed. And when you repeat that commitment consistently, you are watering it, nurturing it, and allowing it to grow into something extraordinary. One of the greatest challenges people face is the temptation to wait for the perfect day, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect conditions. They think that success will only come when everything aligns, when they feel completely ready, or when the world is favorable. But life does not wait, and the perfect day rarely arrives. What does arrive is the present moment, the day, the hour, the minute that exists right now. And in this present moment, you have the power to act. You have the power to wake up, to grind, to repeat. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality, and consistent action is the road that leads to achievement. Consistency also trains your mind to overcome doubt and fear. Every time you take action, you reinforce the belief that you are capable, that you can make progress, and that your efforts matter. Doubt loses its power when met with repeated effort. Fear becomes smaller with every step forward. The repetition of waking up, taking action, and pushing through, even when results are not immediate, creates a mental strength that becomes unstoppable. It teaches you to trust yourself, to rely on your abilities, and to understand that the only way to fail is to stop trying. Finally, understand that this is not just about working harder, it is about working smarter and staying committed. It is about setting clear goals, taking focused steps, and creating a rhythm that allows for progress every day. Wake up with intention, act with purpose, and repeat with discipline. This is the formula for long-term achievement. Success may not come overnight, but it will come. And when it does, it will be the reward not just for talent or luck, but for the unwavering consistency and dedication you chose to show every day. Ladies and gentlemen, the path to your dreams is simple in concept but profound in practice. Wake up, take action, repeat. Do it when it's easy, do it when it's hard, do it when no one is watching. Every day you repeat this cycle, you build the life you are capable of living. Success is not a destination, it is the result of showing up over and over again, embracing the process, and refusing to give up. The small, consistent actions you take today will create the extraordinary results of tomorrow. When we hear the word grind, many people immediately think of hard work, the long hours, the sweat, the effort. And yes, hard work is essential, but grinding goes far beyond simply putting in the hours or exerting physical or mental energy. Grinding is about persistence. It is the unwavering determination to continue moving forward, even when the results are not immediate, when obstacles seem insurmountable, and when the world around you seems indifferent to your efforts. True grinders understand that persistence is what separates ordinary people from those who achieve greatness. Persistence is the quiet, consistent force that carries you through moments when motivation fades. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes like the weather. One day you may feel unstoppable, full of energy, and ready to conquer the world. The next day, you may feel exhausted, uninspired, or defeated. It is in those moments, the moments when you don't feel like pushing, when the path seems too difficult, that persistence becomes your greatest ally. Grinding is not about waiting for motivation to strike. It is about choosing action day after day, regardless of how you feel. Persistence is the backbone of grinding because it transforms effort into progress, and progress into achievement. Every success story is built on persistence. Look at the innovators, entrepreneurs, and leaders we admire. They did not achieve greatness overnight. They faced setbacks, failures, and countless rejections. What distinguished them was their refusal to quit. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. J.K. Rowling was rejected by numerous publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Every breakthrough was preceded by persistence, by grinding through difficulties that would have stopped most people in their tracks. They understood that grinding is not measured by how fast you achieve, but by how steadfastly you continue, regardless of immediate results. Grinding also requires patience. It is easy to confuse busyness with progress, to believe that simply working long hours guarantees success. But grinding is not about frantic effort or rushing through tasks. It is about deliberate, persistent action. It is about doing what needs to be done, even when no one notices, even when the payoff is months or years away. The person who grinds understands that success is a marathon, not a sprint, and that persistence over time yields results far greater than sporadic bursts of energy. Each small, persistent effort compounds, building momentum that eventually propels you forward beyond what you thought possible. Persistence teaches resilience. Life is not a straight path. It is filled with obstacles, setbacks, and unexpected challenges. When you grind with persistence, you develop the ability to face these challenges head-on. You learn to adapt, to adjust, and to keep going even when the situation is difficult. Grinding is not adds to a growing sense of capability. Grinding is not just about laboring through tasks, it is about creating forward motion that becomes unstoppable over time. As you persist, you develop confidence in your ability to handle challenges, solve problems, and achieve goals. This momentum feeds itself. The more you grind, the more you accomplish, and the more your persistence strengthens, creating a cycle of growth and achievement that cannot be broken. Finally, grinding is about mindset. It is about embracing the reality that success is rarely instant, that obstacles are inevitable, and that effort alone does not guarantee results. It is about understanding that persistence is not optional. It is required. Grinding with persistence means choosing to keep going even when the easy path would be to stop, to keep improving even when progress is slow, and to keep believing in yourself even when others doubt you. It is a daily commitment to action, resilience, and growth, repeated over and over until results emerge and your goals are realized. Ladies and gentlemen, grinding is not simply hard work. It is persistence in motion. It is the unwavering commitment to push forward, to continue acting even when success seems distant, and to embrace the process with patience, resilience, and faith. Persistence is what transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It is what turns setbacks into lessons, challenges into opportunities, and dreams into reality. If you understand this, if you truly embrace persistence as the core of your grind, you will develop the strength, focus, and determination necessary to achieve greatness. Grinding is not easy, but it is simple. Show up, CT, and persist. Do it again tomorrow, and the day after. Repeat, persist, and you will find that nothing can stop you. Motivation is something we all talk about, something we all crave. It's the spark that makes us feel alive, the rush of energy that pushes us to chase a goal or take on a challenge. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather, sometimes sunny and bright, sometimes cloudy and absent. One day you feel unstoppable, ready to conquer everything in your path. The next day, you struggle to get out of bed, to take a single step toward your dreams. Relying solely on motivation is like trying to power a car on gas that appears only randomly. It's unreliable, unpredictable, and ultimately insufficient for long-term success. This is why discipline matters more than motivation. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, when doubt creeps in, and when the world challenges your commitment. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your reality. It is the ability to take action even when you don't feel like it. It is the inner strength that makes you choose effort over comfort, progress over procrastination, and persistence over giving up. While motivation can spark action, discipline sustains it. Motivation might get you out of bed one morning, but discipline ensures that you show up day after day, week after week, consistently building toward your goals. Discipline is what turns fleeting inspiration into lasting achievement. Consider the people who have achieved greatness in any field. Rarely are their successes the result of moments of excitement or bursts of motivation. They are the result of consistent, disciplined effort over time. Think of the athletes who rise before dawn to train, the writers who type every day regardless of how inspired they feel, the entrepreneurs who stick to their routines even when their vision seems far away. They do not rely on motivation to carry them. They rely on discipline. They understand that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent, and discipline is the tool that bridges that gap. Discipline also provides structure and clarity. Motivation can be chaotic, unpredictable, and easily swayed by external factors. Discipline creates habits, routines, and systems that guide your actions regardless of how you feel. It eliminates the constant question of, do I feel like doing this today? By replacing it with a simple truth, I do this because it matters, because it is required, because it moves me forward. Discipline creates consistency, and consistency is the key to mastery. Without discipline, even the most talented or motivated individuals can falter, stumble, and fail to reach their potential. The beauty of discipline is that it is a skill you can develop. It is not something you are born with. It is something you build through practice, repetition, and commitment. Each time you choose to act, despite feeling unmotivated, you strengthen your discipline. Each time you stick to your routines, complete tasks, and honor your commitments, you reinforce the habit of consistency. Over time, discipline becomes automatic. It becomes part of who you are. You no longer rely on fleeting feelings to drive your actions. You act because it is who you have decided to be, because it aligns with the person you are becoming, and because it leads to the results you desire. Discipline also protects you from the traps of distraction and temptation. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with interruptions, distractions, and instant gratification. Social media, entertainment, and endless noise compete for our attention, trying to pull us away from what truly matters. Discipline acts as a shield, allowing you to stay focused on your priorities, to resist short-term pleasure in favor of long-term gain. and to consistently work toward your goals even when the world tempts you to veer off course. It gives you control over your actions, your choices, and ultimately your destiny. Another key aspect of discipline is its ability to build mental toughness. Motivation is easy when the path is smooth, when energy is high, and when everything aligns perfectly. Discipline is what sustains you when the path is difficult, when challenges arise, when setbacks occur, and when obstacles seem insurmountable. It teaches you to endure discomfort, to embrace hard work, and to persist in the face of adversity. Discipline develops resilience. It trains your mind to keep moving forward even when your heart wants to stop. It allows you to maintain your focus, your effort, and your progress, no matter the circumstances. Discipline is also the foundation of freedom. It may seem counterintuitive, but the more disciplined you become, the more control you have over your life. When you act with discipline, you no longer let mood, feelings, or circumstances dictate your choices. You dictate your own path. You determine your own progress. You take charge of your future rather than leaving it to chance. Discipline liberates you from the chaos of inconsistency and the uncertainty of waiting for motivation to strike. It empowers you to create results, to achieve your goals, and to live the life you envision. Ultimately, discipline is about choosing commitment over convenience, action over excuses, and long-term gain over short-term comfort. Motivation may light a fire, but discipline keeps it burning. It is the engine that drives persistence, the framework that sustains effort, and the anchor that holds you steady when storms arise. If you can cultivate discipline, if you can make it a habit, you will find that success becomes not a matter of luck or fleeting inspiration, but a matter of course. Every day you honor your commitments, take consistent action, and persist with discipline. You are shaping the life you want and proving to yourself that you are capable of achieving far more than you ever imagined. Ladies and gentlemen, motivation may start the journey, but discipline carries you to the destination. Without discipline, even the most brilliant ideas, the most ambitious goals, and the strongest intentions can falter. But with discipline, you can achieve the extraordinary. Discipline transforms dreams into plans, plans into action, and action into lasting results. It is not easy, but it is powerful. It is not glamorous, but it is effective. And it is the one force that ensures that waking up, grinding, and repeating is more than a slogan. It is the path to real, lasting success. Failure is something most people fear, something they try to avoid at all costs. It is seen as a setback, a sign of weakness, a confirmation that we are not good enough. But the truth is, failure is not the enemy of success. It is one of its greatest teachers. To embrace failure is to unlock a perspective that separates the truly successful from those who give up too soon. Every mistake, every setback, every moment where things do not go as planned is an opportunity to learn, grow, and come back stronger than before. Failure is not a wall, it is a stepping stone. It is not a destination. It is a guide pointing you toward improvement. The first step in embracing failure is to change your perception of it. Failure is often seen as shameful, something to hide or deny. But in reality, failure is a necessary part of growth. Every successful person you admire has failed, often multiple times, in ways that are far more significant than anything you might have experienced. Thomas Edison famously said, "After thousands of attempts to invent the light bulb, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset is crucial. Failure is feedback. It tells you what does not work, what needs adjustment, and where you can improve. Every failure carries with it a lesson. If you are willing to pay attention and learn, to embrace failure, you must take responsibility for it. This does not mean blaming yourself unnecessarily or being harsh on your mistakes, but rather acknowledging them honestly and objectively. When you face failure head-on, you gain control over it. You can analyze what went wrong, what factors contributed, and what changes are needed to succeed next time. Denial, excuses, or avoidance only prolong stagnation. Taking responsibility allows you to transform failure from a source of fear into a source of insight. Each time you do this, you strengthen your ability to adapt and persevere, which are key traits of anyone who achieves lasting success. Another important lesson from failure is that it builds resilience. Life is unpredictable, full of challenges that are beyond our control. Sometimes, no matter how hard you work or how prepared you are, Things do not go as planned. Failure is inevitable. But resilience, the ability to recover, to adjust, and to keep moving forward, is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Each failure you encounter is an opportunity to practice resilience. Each time you fall and get back up, you become stronger, more capable, and more confident in your ability to handle adversity. Embracing failure teaches you that setbacks are temporary, and that persistence through difficulties is the true measure of strength. Failure also encourages creativity and innovation. When one path does not work, you are forced to find another. When a plan fails, it challenges you to think differently, to problem solve, and to explore solutions you might never have considered. Many of the world's greatest inventions, discoveries, and achievements came from repeated failures. When we stop fearing failure and start seeing it as a teacher, we open ourselves up to experimentation, learning, and new possibilities. Failure becomes a tool for growth rather than a barrier, guiding us toward approaches that are more effective and outcomes that are more meaningful. One of the most powerful aspects of embracing failure is that it develops humility. Failure reminds us that we are human, that we are learning, and that success is not guaranteed. This humility is not a weakness, it is a strength. It keeps us open to feedback, willing to learn from others, and aware that there is always room for improvement. It helps us approach our goals with a balanced mindset, combining confidence with a willingness to adapt. The more we embrace failure, the less afraid we are to take risks, try new things, and challenge ourselves beyond our comfort zones, because we know that even if we stumble, there is a lesson to be gained. Embracing failure also strengthens determination. When we see failure as a teacher, we no longer let it stop us. Instead of being discouraged, we are motivated to try again, armed with the knowledge gained from our previous attempts. Each failure becomes a rehearsal for success. Each setback is a chapter in the story of your eventual achievement. The process of failing, learning, adjusting, and moving forward is what builds the tenacity and grit required to reach goals that once seemed impossible. Success is rarely a straight line. It is a series of twists, turns, setbacks, and recoveries. Those who succeed embrace this process fully, understanding that failure is an essential part of the journey. Finally, embracing failure allows you to develop confidence. Confidence does not come from always succeeding, it comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. Confidence comes from repeatedly facing challenges, stumbling, learning, and continuing forward. Every time you fail and recover, your self-belief grows stronger. You gain the courage to aim higher, take bigger risks, and pursue your dreams with the understanding that failure is not something to fear but a guide to help you grow. Ladies and gentlemen, failure is not the opposite of success. It is a vital part of it. It is the teacher that shows you what works, the test that builds resilience, the challenge that sparks creativity, and the experience that strengthens determination and confidence. Every failure you face is a lesson waiting to be learned, a stepping stone toward your goals, and a reminder that growth comes through effort, persistence, and reflection. To embrace failure is to embrace growth, to welcome challenges, and to recognize that every setback is a setup for a stronger, smarter, and more capable version of yourself.